Hey, it's me, Nalthazar, and welcome to another episode of Exclusive Showcase. You're going to see that the formatting for this video is a little bit different again. I'm tinkering around with different things, trying to settle on something. So once again, if you guys could give me some feedback in the comments, let me know what you think about this format. I tried to make the size of the deck that I'm using a little bit bigger, and then instead of just adding like, oh, I have a Patreon, choosing to showcase like what I am highlighting. So this video is about Sawtusk Demolisher. It's a new exclusive that's been in the vault for a few days. If you're wondering, Nalthazar, this is kind of late, buddy. It is, but report cards are due at work, so I'm a teacher. Work ends on Friday for me, so then I can start uploading a little bit more. So I've actually got like 6 or 7 different videos to upload for you guys, including 2 infinite combos. So hopefully you guys enjoy those as we get to them. But let's get straight into this one. So Sawtooth. I'm gonna keep saying that, aren't I? Sawtusk Demolisher is a 6/6 for 13. It has mutate, and when it mutates, you are going to basically you're going to destroy a support, and then your opponent gets a 3/3 beast token. And so you'll see that I've got Nessie and Boar on the battlefield here. I've actually got 2 games to show you. The first one's a pretty smooth game. The second game was me running into a little bit of trouble. I thought maybe you guys would like to see me causing some trouble. But yeah, anyway, so Sawtusk Demolisher. Oh man, I suck tonight. Okay, Sawtusk Demolisher is actually really cool with the pig. So you'll see that I'm running Nessie and Boar in the deck. It was the first thing that I was like, you know what? Yeah, I want to pair it with this. You'll also see, by the way, that I'm running a largely mythic-less deck. I don't count Court of Calling as a mythic since it's an event reward. Nylea is the only mythic. So I've been getting a lot of positive feedback of using what you guys have called decks that mere mortals can use. So that's what this is. Now, the Demolisher is going to power up the pig really quickly, and then when the pig attacks, it's going to destroy all of your opponent's creatures, basically. So with the Demolisher, you're going to destroy a support, give a creature token to your opponent, and then the pig is going to kill that. So I think that's actually pretty cool for like objectives where you need to kill X number of creatures in green. So this is going to help you with stuff like that, while also giving you some protection by killing off your opponent's supports, so you don't have to worry about them. And so, because it's a mutate, every time you reinforce one of the creatures that's mutated, you're going to destroy an opponent's support and give them one of those 3/3 beast tokens. Now, if you wanted to, you could even go ahead and run the Demolisher in conjunction with something nasty, like I think it's Leyline of Singularity, but blue Leyline. It's going to exile tokens when they come into play, so it makes it so that your opponent can't get the token. It's just every time you reinforce one of your creatures, you're going to be able to destroy one of their supports, Vanguards included. Now, there isn't a whole lot of support destruction in the game right now in Standard. A lot of our support destruction is like destroy an artifact, or destroy an enchantment, or an artifact or an enchantment or something, or destroy a Vanguard. But this gets rid of a little bit of everything. So I really like that about it. I'm actually really pleased that there are a number of bundles that have been entering the vault for $5 instead of all the bundles being like $30, which I think is a little bit more reasonable to expect more players to get. And so this brings us to about the end of match 1. So you get to see how the Sawtusk works in conjunction with the Boar here. Now, my opponent got down Hixus. This is great for Hixus, just because Hixus is one of those really pesky supports that is neither an artifact nor an enchantment right now. And so this is going to get rid of things like Hixus, which is really nice, because at the moment it's pretty dang hard to get rid of Hixus, let me tell you. So that was match 1. Match 1 was up against a Tamiyo deck, and so Tamiyo got smashed. By the way, Nessie and Boar is incredibly strong. I know that's a totally different thing to consider, but yeah, Nessie and Boar is insane. You put these two together and it's fantastic, because you got the Boar, which is really cheap, and then you've got the Sawtusk, which is only 13 mana. So just with the two of them, it's really easy to cast the Boar, and then it's really easy to mutate the Boar with the Sawtusk, and then when it gets mutated, it gets reinforced, so it gets an additional 12/8, which is really nice, because the Boar is going to be hurting itself. So yeah, just things to think about. So here in my starting hand, I've got gem conversion and I've got shared summons. So shared summons is in the deck so that I can get to the Demolisher a little bit more quickly along with the Piggy, and then so that I can start mutating things. Also, Sir Sarah is pretty great for this. That's why she's in here. It's just she's going to help us with card draw. So keeping a full hand is really nice. Now, I'm going to prioritize getting the little piglet down. There's actually a whole bunch of really nice matches for me here. I'm kind of hoping I get a Cascade, and I do. So that gets me both of my gem converters, which puts me in a pretty good spot. If you'll recall, I did say that this is a match where I did run into a little bit of early trouble. And so here's where you're going to see that trouble. My opponent gets 12-13 Hydra down, which is pretty substantial because at 13 toughness, that means that the pig is not going to be able to attack it and kill it in one hit. So you're going to see that I'm actually going to prioritize shared summons here over my pig. I actually don't want the pig to come down just yet. Now, I didn't disable it because I was thinking that with the shared summons, I would either pick up another pig or I would pick up my Sawtusk, which would reinforce the pig, and that would be enough to kill that 12-13 also. So here you're seeing that I am prioritizing shared summons still. I want to get that down. I'm looking at Gingerbread Cabin and thinking, well, it was nice knowing you, my friend. My opponent is playing a mono green deck, so they're going to match this anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and match you, and I might as well get that green match instead of my opponent. Now here's where things get even more dicey. They get another Hydra down, and they get gem conversion down. So at this point I was like, oh, shucks. And then I drew Death Sprout, which is awesome. And you'll see that I've got the Sawtusk in my hand, so I'm going to be scooting that on up. I've got Sir Sarah in my hand, so I'm scooting that on up. I want to get my Piggy down. I want to be able to destroy my opponent's critter because that thing's going to be hitting me for way more damage than I ever want to get hit for. And then I would like to get the pig down and reinforced so that I can stop my opponent from really doing anything at all. That would be delightful. So I'm making that green landfall. I was really hoping I'd get a little bit more of a Cascade, just literally anything. I need one more mana for Death Sprout, but I didn't get that, but that's okay. The game makes up for it here. It gives me the green match, and then I've got a red into green up on the top left. So you're going to see that I do that. I get the 5, which means I get to make another match. I get to kill the Hydra, and I get to bring down the pig. I get to mutate the pig, and now that the pig is mutated, pig is a big savage beast. We're going to get rid of our opponent's token. We're going to get Sir Sarah down, and we're getting another Garen Brig because of the Death Sprout. I was hoping I would get a Gingerbread Cabin. That didn't happen, but that's okay. We're in the driver's seat now. We got the pants in this relationship. I've got my first ability with Samut. If you're wondering, Nalthazar, you haven't really been using that first ability. It feels like you're purposefully slowing your game down. Yeah, I am. I'm doing that because I want to show off this Sawtusk a little bit more to you guys. So as this match starts to wrap up, I want to talk a little bit about the Sawtusk and my thoughts on it and all of that. I actually really like the Sawtusk as a card. I like that it gives green some support removal. I actually kind of like that it gives the opponent a token, honestly, because in most decks, if I'm just making a power deck, I'm not going to use the Sawtusk. If I'm making a power deck and I'm going to be running Mutate, then I'm going to be doing something else entirely. Maybe I'd run my Goblin Ringleader Mutate deck with the Great Horn, or maybe I'd do something else. But the Sawtusk isn't what I'd run for a power deck. The Sawtusk is something that I would use for completing specific objectives in events. And so having those creatures pop up for my opponent, especially using the Nessian Boar that you see over here on the screen, is going to be really good for having that creature removal. Like I said earlier, you can also run it with the blue ley line that gets rid of tokens so that your opponent just doesn't get a token anyways. And so there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with that. So on the whole, I like the Sawtusk. I'm glad that I have it. So I like playing with it. It's not an essential card by any means. It's not like you're not going to be able to compete or you're not going to be able to complete objectives or anything. So if you pass on this one, I really wouldn't worry about it. But it's definitely a cool card. So here we're gonna wrap up our match. We're gonna go ahead and say goodbye to Nissa. yeah, we got 36 power, I think, on the board right now. So yeah, my eyes are trying to deceive me, but I will not let them. Anywho, once again, yes, please, thank you for watching my videos. Please leave in the comments. Let me know what you think of the formatting of this video. Like I said, I'm tinkering with a bunch of different things in different software. So this is the one that I like the most that I've come up with so far. Let me know what you guys think, though. Thanks for tuning in again, and I'll see you in the next one.